Here's what we know about Chicago Fire Season 14, including cast, spoilers, storylines, and more. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs and people coming and going when the Dick Wolf hit NBC series Chicago Fire returns for its 14th season, and not all of it has been worked out as yet. Showrunner Andrea Newman tells Parade, "We want to reflect the craziness of the world right now, and that's definitely going to be the case on the show. As I keep saying, it's going to be a wild ride, because we need to investigate what occurs as the vehicles become leaner and how it impacts calls. We will have a lot of new and exciting experiences." Here is what we know about the Chicago Fire cast news, spoilers, storyline, and more for Season 14. When is the release date for Chicago Fire Season 14? The new season of Chicago Fire will premiere this fall on Wednesday nights. An exact premiere date has yet to be announced. What time will Chicago Fire Season 14 be on? Nothing's been locked down yet, but we love both these actors and characters, Newman told Parade. "We certainly want to do right by them, but we also want to be surprising and shocking. Some might stay and some might go, we are not sure yet. We've got to play it out and see exactly how we can manage the next season with them." Michael Bradway as firefighter Jack Damon. Michael Bradway, who appeared on Chicago Fire in Seasons 12 and 13, will not return as Severide's half-brother Jack Damon in Season 14. Bradway was recently cast in Every Summer After, Prime Video's new series adaptation of Carly Fortune's 2022 novel. That said, if his filming schedule allows, he could guest star on the NBC drama. Who will be joining the cast of Chicago Fire in Season 14? Brandon Larroquette. Brandon Larroquette joins Chicago Fire Season 14 in a key role that is being kept under wraps for now, Variety reports. Larroquette is no stranger to the Dick Wolf universe. He last starred on Call, a Prime Video half-hour drama. "I think that the journey of this season brought Kid to a place of believing that she can handle anything, and that's one thing she can handle," Newman shares. "Leaving it to the fates at the end there, if it was going to be adoption, she was ready, and if it was going to be pregnancy, by the end of the season, everything she's been through, she'd be ready too. In my mind, and as we've talked about it in the room many times, if you think the stakes are high now, when there's a baby in the picture for Severide and Kid, the stakes go through the roof. They're trapped in a building together and realize if they both die, they're leaving a baby orphaned, which is exactly what happened to Kid when she was young, losing both her parents. That in and of itself is stuff to explore, and how that changes who a firefighter is, and the way they approach their job. Do they still want to work together? Do they still want to be in the same place? How does the tension rise and the stakes rise because of this? It won't be a goo-goo gaga situation. We're not going to see a lot of diaper changing. Also, remember the episode in Season 13 where the auditor visited Firehouse 51 to figure out the balance sheets? Well, that will affect Season 14. This has happened in the CFD as well as everywhere else right now. But they have started to restructure the way the trucks and squads look, Newman said. How many two-man trucks, three-man trucks? And yeah, there's a lot of shakeups that's going to happen. Like the auditor said when he was there, "Watch out. There's a big shakeup coming. There's one coming in the CFD for sure." She continues, "Are more injuries going to happen because of that? And then, how does it affect the fire department as a whole? We've got a lot to explore as Firehouse 51 gets a little shaken up and turned upside down a bit." What happened in Chicago Fire Season 13? The Season 13 finale was full of baby news, broken relationships, rekindled romances, and putting your all on the line for someone you believe in. The baby news was Stella announcing to Severide that she was pregnant, as mentioned in spoilers above. The broken relationship was Violet's ending things with Flynn, Stephen Strait, when he tried to push her into attending medical school. In doing so, she said aloud for the first time, "I'm in love with someone else." That someone else, of course, is Carver. The two rekindled their romance at the end of the episode, even though it's been announced he is leaving the series at the end of the season. As for putting it all on the line, that was Severide believing in Chief Pascal and willing to risk his career to help prove that Pascal wasn't guilty of the attempted murder of Robert Franklin, Matthew Collins, the man responsible for the death of Pascal's wife Monica in the auto accident. It turned out that Pascal had been framed by Lieutenant Vale, Phil Donlin. So it was a firefighter who committed the crime. They were just looking at the wrong firefighter. And finally, Herman, David Eigenberg, put his career on the line for Mouch, Christian Stolt. Instead of taking the test to become chief, Herman decided to step down and take a demotion so that Mouch could be promoted to lieutenant before he retires. Herman is happy with his choice because he prefers to be on the front lines rather than be a paper pusher. Just when it felt like Chicago Fire was regaining its rhythm after a string of cast exits and dramatic storylines, Season 14 has delivered yet another emotional blow, and fans are feeling the heat. In a surprising turn that no one quite expected so soon, the series is losing another cast member, throwing the already fragile dynamics of Firehouse 51 into complete disarray. The sudden departure of Michael Bradway, who played firefighter Jack Damon, marks the third notable exit in a relatively short period, and it's beginning to feel like the fire isn't just on screen anymore. It's burning through the core of the show itself. For viewers who had only just started warming up to Damon's storyline and saw potential for a fresh chapter with the new recruit, the news of Bradway's departure feels abrupt, unexplained, and frankly, a bit ominous for the long-running NBC drama. While Damon's arc was still developing, his presence gave fans hope that a new generation of firefighters might carry the torch with the same emotional weight and camaraderie as their predecessors. But with Damon now vanishing from the canvas, many are asking the same question. How will the writers explain his absence without derailing the already shaky narrative momentum? Some are even wondering if Firehouse 51 is cursed this season, or worse, if the production is quietly bracing for a slow unraveling of its once tightly woven ensemble cast. From the outside, it might look like just another routine casting shakeup, but longtime fans know better. They've seen how the show handled exits in the past, sometimes with powerful, tear-jerking episodes and sometimes with single-line throwaways that feel like disservice to the characters they spent seasons growing attached to. So what will it be for Jack Damon? Will he get a heroic exit? Or will he be quietly written off with a vague, transferred to another house explanation? Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe my Fast Gossip 24 to our channel, and stay with us. The silence from NBC and the Chicago Fire showrunners is only adding fuel to the fire, especially since Damon was one of the few fresh faces with the potential to become a fan favorite. Speculation is already swirling online. Was it a creative decision? A contract dispute? A behind-the-scenes conflict? Or simply a new opportunity for Bradway that pulled him away from the franchise? Until the official word drops, all fans can do is speculate and worry. Because when 3 cast members leave in such close proximity, it's no longer a coincidence. It's a pattern. A potentially dangerous one for a show that thrives on consistency, loyalty, and deep emotional investment in its ensemble. Season 14 was already shaping up to be a pivotal one, especially after the departure of longtime stars who had carried the show through its most iconic and gut-wrenching arcs. Jack Damon was supposed to be part of the rebuild, a bridge between the old and the new. But now, even that bridge is crumbling, and it begs a serious question. Is Chicago Fire preparing for a soft reboot, or are we witnessing the beginning of the end for Firehouse 51 as we know it? Social media reactions to the news have been swift and intense. Some fans are heartbroken, others are furious, and many are expressing concern over the creative direction the show is heading in. One Reddit thread compared the show's recent casting instability to a revolving door of rookies, while another fan on Twitter lamented, "We barely got to know Jack Damon. He deserved a story, not a silent goodbye." And honestly, they're right. There's something deeply unsatisfying about watching new characters introduced only to disappear before they truly matter. It weakens the emotional connection that has long been a cornerstone of the Chicago Fire viewing experience. That slow burn of character development, watching rookies struggle, grow, and become part of the family, is what made the early seasons so powerful. Losing that rhythm feels like losing the heartbeat of the show. Of course, it's entirely possible that the writers will surprise us. Perhaps Jack Damon will get a noble send-off, a quiet scene where he makes a life-changing decision to pursue a different path, or a brief return to wrap things up in a meaningful way.